Alright, so this ventriloquist dummy gave his final speech. I think it was, well, as of recording, it would have been yesterday, but it was Monday the 13th. Monday, January 13th. I think he gave his final speech, or at least it says final foreign policy speech. I don't know, some kind of speech. I forgot to check it out earlier. Usually I already have checked these out, so I kind of know what the points are to talk about, so not really prepared, but that's okay, because this guy, all he does is lie, and is always very hyperbolous, very divisive, so I'm sure this is a horrible speech, and there will be a lot to break down. So, let's just take a look at this in real time, and let's just get into it.
It's good to be back at the State Department. Tony, if I may start by saying this, you're one of the finest men I've ever known in any undertaking, for one important reason. You're not only brilliant, you have incredible character. You have character. You have more integrity than almost anybody I know. Thank you for always sticking with me. Appreciate it.
Does that even mean anything coming from this douchebag? I mean, he's got, like, no character and no integrity. And I don't mean just in recent years how he's been so divisive and stuff. I mean, even back in the 80s when he was trying to run for president and all this, and, like, he had his plagiarizing scams. Didn't he have multiple? Yeah, he copied somebody's speech. He also copied somebody else's written work. And he also, even though the left doesn't like to acknowledge it, is consistently racist. So, I mean, does it really matter? I mean, does it hold any weight, say, coming from him for him to say to somebody else that they have integrity and stuff? I feel like your standard is already insanely low because it's at zero, if not lower. So for somebody to have some, in your eyes, all they got to be at is like 1%, and like that's, oh my god, that's mind blowing to this dickhead.
Folks, I'm grateful for his counsel and his friendship as well, but I also want to thank the members of my cabinet and the members of the Congress who are here today, and to all our diplomats, development experts, service members, and intelligence professionals. Many of the achievements we're going to discuss today are the result of your hard work, and that's not hyperbole, it's true.
Many of the achievements, relax. You have been the worst president in modern history easily. I mean, the only contender for that title is Jimmy Carter. Otherwise, by far, easily the worst president. And he's going to talk about our achievements. Yeah, you have had achievements, but they're terrible. They're not what you think they are. They've all been very, very bad. I mean, there's a reason Trump won again, which I'm not complaining. I know this is going to be a phenomenal 4 years. But I'm just saying from, like, a Democrat's perspective, I'm not, what I mean is from their, I'm not a Democrat, but I'm saying from, like, a Democrat standpoint, there's a reason Trump won again. It's because of how bad you guys were. The Democrats were. With the lying, the gaslighting, the terrible policies and everything. People were just sick of it. So it almost doesn't even matter who the Republican nominee was. They probably would have won regardless. It didn't have to be Trump. It could have been Dr. Oz, and he would have won because you guys were just so horrible. So here we go. Already talking about our achievements. Yeah, they weren't good. Like, calm down on your achievements there, bro.
Thank you for your extraordinary service. I come here to the State Department to report on to the American people on the progress we've made in the last 4 years in our foreign policy and our presidency. I've said many times, we're at an inflection point. Post-Cold War period is over. A new era has begun. In these 4 years, we faced crises that we've been tested. We've come through those tests stronger, in my view, than we entered those tests. This is a fierce competition underway. The future of the global economy, technology, human values, and so much else. Right now, in my view, thanks to our administration, the the United States is winning the worldwide competition. Compared to 4 years ago, America is stronger. Our alliances are stronger. Our adversaries and competitors are weaker. We have not gone to war to make these things happen.
Okay, so first off, he's saying that compared to the rest of the world or whatever, like we're in the strongest economic standpoint. Like, yeah, we always are, stupid. What, you think that we used to be in second or third or something? We've been always in the lead. I don't know for how long. It's been long, like, you know what I mean? Like, I know ever since like World War II, we really solidified like we're a top dog. I don't know what it was like prior to that, if we were really seen as a top dog. I guess that was militarily is how we solidified that. So I don't know. It's been a long time though. He's over here talking about it like we were weak and now, oh wow, we really boosted ourselves up. Like, relax. And then he's talking about strengthening our ally relationships. I don't really know about that. I know because of this weak, incompetent, doddering fool, we're not well respected on the global scale anymore. So I don't really know how our allies would feel either. They're probably like, oh God, this is embarrassing. This is what we got to try to go call on. Well, let's see what kind of response we can get. Hey, dickhead, you still alive? I'm going to try to ask you a question. I hope you can remember the words as I say them, so then you can try to give me a coherent answer. At the same time, how long does your memory last for? Because I need to ask this question fast enough that way then you still have enough time to process and give me a good answer. Otherwise, you might forget halfway through. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, that's what it was. Have not gone to war. Trump didn't go to war either. He's the only president that didn't have any kind of wars. I mean, yeah, you might say, oh, we didn't go to war, but you funded one. You funded Ukraine very, very heavily. Under Trump, we had nothing. He had that one Syrian strike, and that was it. One strike, boom, bam, done. Like, don't try to make it sound like you're totally in the clear. Plus, isn't there stuff going on still in Afghanistan or something? Like, this guy's such an idiot.
During my presidency, I've increased America's power at every dimension. We've increased.
In every dimension? Really? You increased our power in every dimension? How do you mean this? Do you mean it militarily or something? Because I don't think trying to support all kinds of DEI initiatives is very strengthening. Having all these little twinks like, oh my God, join the army, and then we can do this gay TikTok dance together is really strengthening our military. I also don't think that, causing massive inflation is helping anything on the home front either when people are all struggling. And I also don't think that all these stupid Democrat-run cities are strengthening anything either when it's all about looting and weak criminal punishment and stuff. And I also don't think that abandoning your own cities such as Maui and North Carolina, that's not a city, that's a whole entire state, but, and all this after natural disasters is the way to go about things either. Like, you didn't strengthen anything. It feels very strongly like your entire presidency was all about sabotage and destroying the country. And as a lot of people have said, it's incompetent. How do I phrase this? What's the phrase? Like, you are clearly mentally declined and just not with it. You're just the face of the country. You're like the Mandalorian in Iron Man 3. Like, Trevor was just the face of the Mandalorian, but the real Mandalorian was whatever that adversary of Tony Stark in 99 was. That's you. You're the Mandalorian. You're Trevor. You're not really running things. You can't even think. And so, yeah, it felt very much like the last 4 years have really felt like an attack or an attempted attack at completely destroying this country. Like, nothing is strengthened, you dickhead. They will be. In about a week, they'll start getting there, but under you, absolutely not.
Our diplomatic power, creating more allies than the United States has ever had in the history of our nation. We've increased our military power, making the most significant investments in the defense industrial base in decades. We've increased the technology power, taking the lead in artificial intelligence and other technologies of the future. And we've increased the economic power, building the most dynamic economy in the world from the bottom up and the middle out, not the top down.
That's what he's always talking about. Oh, we made the best economy, blah, blah, blah. We don't have the best economy. Like, literally, in any metric that you look at it, we do not have the best economy. The only thing that you can say in defense of that, we have the best economy, is that we have a big economy, so there's that. But to say the best, no. So what I mean by big economy is, like, obviously we import and export quite a bit. Like, we're a main trade hub for the world. We also, since we're a big country, we have a lot that we can produce ourselves internally, and in turn, that's a lot that we can export. So we have the potential. But as is, it is not the best economy in the world. First off, our debt is absolutely psychotic. Okay, if somebody's walking around with, let's say an individual is walking around with millions of dollars in debt, but they're like, oh yeah, look at my car, look at my house, look at my clothes, look at my jewelry, and they're showing off all this stuff, but they're millions of dollars in debt. That's not impressive. It's like, all right, cool, you have this stuff, but you don't really. It's on borrowed money. Like, you're in extreme debt. Like, don't show off. It's not like you have the cash to buy this stuff. So, that's kind of like us with our 34 trillion in debt that we have. It's absolutely insane. That's not a sign of strength. Sign of strength would be zero debt. And then second off, he's always bragging about we built from the economy, from the middle out and up, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, where? I hear all this stuff about real wages are down because inflation is way up. Where are you exactly talking about this middle class stuff? Where? From what I understand, everybody's struggling. So, really? You're helping the middle class? Which middle? What middle? Where middle? And then he's trying to make fun of from the top down, like that's a bad strategy. But you know what? The top down is actually better. If you're helping the businesses and stuff have breaks and stuff, that gives them more money to invest into their company, which then in turn could be more jobs in one way or another, because either they can expand or they can start increasing their output, which means they need more staff to handle that increased workload, or both. Or, you know what I mean? Or they can just invest into other industries. So maybe, store X, let's say like Walmart, because they got a ton of their own brands. So say Walmart, they get more money. Now they make another brand of their own thing. Like how they have Great Value and Ozark Trail and all that stuff. Well, now they go and make their own brand of, I don't know, let's say a video game company. I don't think Walmart has a video game company yet. So let's say they do that. Well, now that's all those video game programmers and developers and stuff that need jobs. And then, the companies to get the video game data onto the discs or cartridges and so on. Like, that's how you help the economy. So even though a lot of people don't like talking about how breaks for the rich or breaks for businesses, there's a reason for it, and it works way better than middle out. Yeah, it sounds nice, middle out. Oh yeah, help us middle class people. But it doesn't really help you. At the end of the day, if businesses are struggling, then you lose your job, and then what? Okay, cool, so the middle class got a big tax break, but you don't have a job. So what's better, having an income and you have a slightly higher tax bracket, or having no income, but I would be at a lower tax bracket?
In short, Kamala and I took office, our nation had become stronger at home, are stronger in the world. And now, America is more capable, and I would argue better prepared than we've been in a long, long time. While our competitors and adversaries are facing stiff headwinds, we have the wind at our back because of all of you. This is what we're heading into. And over the next administration, that's what we're handing it to. Today, I want to lay out what we've done.
Dickhead says, the next administration, this is what I'm handing. You know what you're actually handing them? You're handing them a disaster. Trump won because you currently have us in a disaster. And the people are sick of it, and they want to have the relief and have the country fixed. So you're not handing anything good off to this incoming administration. You're handing an absolute disaster and a huge pile of crap and mess that they have to fix up. Now, granted, Trump's had 4 years to think about this, so he's got tons of plans ready to go. He'll get it fixed within the first 6 months of his presidency, probably. But still, You're acting like you're handing off something good. No, what actually happened is you had something handed off to you, but then you completely screwed it up right away with all your dumb executive orders, reversing or ending everything good that Trump initiated. And yeah, you took something very strong and good and just completely destroyed it. Now, on the flip side, you have completely destroyed everything, and then you're handing this off back to Trump for him to have to fix again. First, he had to fix Obama's issues. Now he's going to fix your issues. Like, you're not handing anything good off. And the irony is, you're saying all this nonsense, and you get these pictures right next to you of Los Angeles and Pacific Palisades just showing decimation, destruction, like just terrible landscapes that you've done nothing to help with, by the way, too. And it's like, at the same time, you're over here trying to talk about how everything's so great and wonderful, and, oh, I'm handing off something awesome to Trump. Really? Yeah, those wildfires and the damage and destruction left behind, those look awesome, yeah. Yeah, good job, Biden.
Opportunities we've created for America and those opportunities going forward. Today, I can report to the American people our sources of national power are far stronger than they were when we took office. Our economy is booming, although there's more work to do. Our technologies, from artificial intelligence to biotech, quantum, to advanced semiconductors, are the envy of the world. And we have made the most significant investments in American.
Our economy is booming. You hear that? Our economy is booming. Oh, yeah, yep, real boom. Is this guy for real right now? Our economy is booming. Everybody is complaining about inflation and complaining about real wages being down and everything. And this dickhead's going to say our economy is booming? Okay. Like, at my job, I have a lot of responsibilities. I'm chief engineer, but I'm also pricing analyst. I do QCing stuff. I work heavily with sales as well. And yeah, so anyways, as part of pricing analyst, I get all the quotes and stuff. Yeah, over the last few months, I haven't had very many quotes. This month, we're doing actually okay so far. Where today's the 13th, and I think I have, what do I have, 12 quotes so far. So that's almost one a day, so that's not bad. But the last few months, not so much. You're going to tell me it's booming? I mean, I tried to ask for a raise back in October, and I was denied because of how the economy was doing poorly. That's basically what I was told. They said, well, I'm not saying no, it's just we're so slow right now that I don't think it's in my best interest to give you a raise. I mean, the president of my company, when I went to ask him for the raise, even said that he put in for a pay cut for himself, a temporary pay cut, just to try to help the company a little with some extra funds. So, yeah, I don't think that's really booming. Dickhead. It's so stupid.
The American workers since the New Deal. To rebuild our roads and bridges, our ports and airports, clean water systems, affordable high-speed internet, and so much more. To build American manufacturing. To make advanced semiconductors, which we invented here at home. We made the largest investment in climate and clean energy ever, anywhere on.
You know, for real, the climate and clean energy and all that crap, that needs to stop. That is a massive scam. I don't care what people want to say about it, global warming and all this. I feel like it's a huge scam that's just perpetrated by, it seems largely to be like the Democrats. And I don't know what the whole point is for. Either to push an agenda or try to control people. I don't know. But let's be real. They've been crying about this since the 70s, maybe even before that. And it's like, what really has happened? You want to talk about global warming? Okay, where? If you pay attention to the news in the United States right now, it's very cold around here. Like, the whole country. Global warming, though. Yep. Oh, yeah, it's so hot. Global warming. Uh-huh. It's called summer when it happens. It happens every year. Stupid. No, but one day it's a little bit hotter. Oh, my God, global warming. Oh! You know, it has nothing to do with the fires that all these fiery but mostly peaceful protests are having that are probably raising the temperature and all that extra carbon being released in the air due to the flames and stuff. No, it's just global warming. And then you put all these dumb initiatives out there just for what? I mean, look at this plan that they tried to do with the electric cars and all that. That was so dumb. A, people do not have money to be just buying a new car all willy-nilly, especially one that's relatively expensive. B, the electric grids are not set up for that. Jeez, take California, for example. Every summer they have brownouts all the time because their electric grid can't handle the ACs running. You think now it's going to be able to handle cars being charged on top of that? And electric cars suck. The batteries, a full charge, they always try to brag about, oh, you can go 300 miles on a full charge. Cool, you can keep your dumb electric car for 300 miles on a full charge. Because you know what I can get on a full tank of gas? I can get 600 miles. Why would I want to get a car that I have to charge twice as much as I need to go to the gas station and fuel up for? That's dumb. So yeah, this whole initiative's been pretty stupid. And not only that, but you're going to try to push this in the United States all the time. What about China? What about India? What about those countries that are just violently, ridiculously, unregulatedly polluting, and they have such bad smog that people, especially in China, are wearing face masks all the time because the air quality is so poor? You don't need to worry about this anymore over here. We have it pretty much under control. We have a lot of protections and everything with the EPA and all these other organizations. So we're already pretty good. Like, if you want to actually make any kind of change, maybe try to get in touch with Xi Jinping and whoever the leader is of India and work with them at reducing their pollution and stuff. That's where you need to do it. Both those places have 2 billion people combined. Like, that's a lot of people putting out a lot of pollution. Not 300 million people over here in the United States where it's already heavily regulated and pretty much under control. It's so dumb.